Hey YouTube, it's me again, and my kiddo is down for her nap, actually for the first time in her crib. And that's actually what I'm making a video about. It's actually kind of weird because, so, for most of you that have been following me for a while, you guys know that Kaleigh slept in her car seat up until 4 or 5 months. And she's a big baby, so she slept in her car seat because she just did not like laying flat on her back. When she had jaundice, she laid on her back for the jaundice treatment, and then when she came home, she laid in her bassinet for a couple nights, and then just randomly started hating it. So the doctors just, thought it might be reflux, and because she'd fallen asleep, and I put her in her car seat just to see what she would do because I was so tired, and from her waking up and screaming in her bassinet like every hour. And she slept the night. So the doctors just said to leave her there, so I did. So anyway, we then bought her a co-sleeper, and she outgrew that very fast, and so she just ended up in our bed. So she's been in our bed, and actually I haven't minded it at all. It is so convenient. I was always one of those parents, or one of those people that were like, why do parents let their babies co-sleep? I don't think that that's a good choice, blah, 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 and I just didn't understand it. Well, now I understand it, and I am a believer in it because Kaleigh has just slept so much better, and then when she was teething and stuff and waking up, it was so much more convenient to have her there because I could calm her down right away when she would start fussing, and stuff, before she even opened her eyes, and she would go back to sleep. She only woke up. She has 3 teeth in now, and she woke up one night and was, crying to the point where, like, I got up and had to walk around with her, and that was it. The rest of the time, she's been able to go back to sleep, which is amazing. She's such a good sleeper for the most part. So she's just been in bed with us, and then at nap time, for nap times, I basically was just holding her because I tried to put her in her crib and she did not want anything to do with it. And so I was just holding her and letting her, because when I first started co-sleeping with her, she would fall asleep in my chest and wanted to like fall asleep like in my arms. And so that's what she was used to. So I just held her, and she's gotten to the point now though where she falls asleep in my arms, and then if I don't put her down, like if she tries to, because she's starting, she's moving now when she sleeps like a person does, instead of, how babies like, stay very still when they sleep. And if she doesn't have space to move, that's what makes her fussy. So she's done a complete 180, which is normal. And so she falls asleep with me, and then I put her down, in the bed with us. But now it's gotten to the point where her nap times, like she hasn't been taking as long of naps because she tries to move, and she's in my arms. So last week I put her down on the couch because we have a huge sectional, and I just stayed right, obviously there with her, and she slept like a rock. So I was like, okay, I think she's ready to try her crib, because that way, she's safe and I don't have to worry about her, obviously I'm not going to leave her on the couch and go do stuff. Number one, because I'm afraid of her rolling off, and number two, I don't want to make a lot of noise anyways because, it might wake her up. So today I put her in her crib at 1:30. She fell asleep at 1:15, so she slept with me for 15 minutes. And then I put her in her crib at 1:30, and it is now 5 after 2. So she's been sleeping there for over half an hour. Yay! So that's what we're gonna start doing, is we're gonna try and take at least one nap in her, doing what I just did today. And then the goal, my husband and I had talked about it, and the goal is to try and get her back into her, or not back into, but sleeping in her crib at about 1. So that is the goal, and so far I think we're actually ahead of schedule, which is really nice. But like I said, I mean, I am totally a fan of co-sleeping after having that experience with Kaleigh, and I'm fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home mom, so there was nothing more precious in the world to me than sleeping, next to my baby, and with her and being able to snuggle with her. And Kaleigh has never cried when she's woken up. She stirs, and usually when she, stirs, she stirs for a little while so that, it jolts me up right away. And, when she opens her eyes, she sees me and she just, kind of looks at me and then smiles. And she's never ever woken up and crying, and I love that. I love that. And that is the one thing, if she does start to wake up and start crying, that's going to be hard for me because, who wants to wake up and cry right away? So anyway, yeah, that's my spiel on co-sleeping and nap time. She's still, but yeah, okay, so for daylight savings time, how we had to spring forward, she tried to sleep till 11 today because she's just so on schedule with her sleeping that I had to wake her up. I woke her up at 10:30. So she goes down usually between 10 and 11 and then sleeps until 10 the next day. And then she wakes up, she stirs and stuff sometimes still, and I have to kind of, pat her and tell her it's okay. Which is why in one of my last videos I said that, I think she kind of has a little bit of nightmare sleep going on. But she doesn't get a bottle at all anymore. She only gets water if she gets anything. This last night she finally woke up to drink. I think it was like 6, and she drank about a quarter of her water, and then, because I just keep it right by my bed, and then she fell back asleep. And then her nap time, so she's usually up in the morning for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and then she goes down for a nap, and then she's up for another 3 hours or so, and then she's down for a nap. Depending on the day, depending on the day, I try to get her, for a while I stayed home and really tried to get her on the nap schedule so that way she knew when to fall asleep. Because she's at the point now, because she's older, that she fights her sleep. Like when we're out, she's such an observer. She's very quiet, very mellow, and she just looks at everything. And she fights her sleep because she wants to see everything, and I'm the same way. She gets that from me. But in the car and stuff, she's really good about taking cat naps and all that, when it's nap time. But, so she, when we're out, I try to get her at least to have one good nap a day. So that way, like after this, I think we're going to stay at home all day today. But if I had anything to do, I would leave, after the first nap. And actually, to be honest, a lot of times, like when we wake up, and we come out into the main room and stuff. And, she's still in her jammies right now. We usually don't get dressed until after her first nap is over, or at least she doesn't. So, but time just goes so fast. Like we wake up and stuff, and she eats too. She eats I call it brunch. But we wake up and we play and we do all that, and then we eat, and that takes some time, and then we clean up and, and blah, blah, blah. And so it just, and we play some more. And so time just, and there's no point in getting dressed. I'm just going to put her back down, in my opinion, but whatever. So, that's my video on sleeping. And actually it was funny because I was sitting down to do a video on something completely different, but now that I've used up like over 8 minutes, so I'm just going to cut this video off and do another one because I've been meaning to sit down and like talk about a bunch of stuff. I just haven't had the time and everything, and especially with her napping like with me, that also made it kind of tough because I can't do a video while she's like laying in my lap. You know what I mean? Like laying in my lap. So, and I probably should be doing something productive right now. But yeah, I decided to choose you guys instead. So, okay, I'm going to cut this one off and then I'll probably go on to the next topic that I was going to talk about. So, thanks for watching.